All right. So some other things when we're thinking about TikTok, okay, your posting style, not only it's going to help you find your niche on TikTok, okay, but it's also going to set a sustainable posting style that you can keep up with. Hey, you trying to be like somebody else, it's going to be, that's hard. You can't be like everybody else. Like I see somebody who's in the financial space and she posts from the beach all the time. She's at different places and events. That's not my lifestyle. That's not my style. So I definitely don't live by a beach. I would have to drive over an hour away to get to the beach every day we posted. But could I do it once out of the month? Possibly, right? Will I do that? No. Okay. What is going to be your posting style? Okay. Think about, how maybe some of us want to show our faces, want to do our videos. Like at some point in time, you might need to show your face, y'all, especially if you're doing a live. Okay. But again, for your regular page, doesn't have to happen. You could just, you're artist, then you could just be showing, how you create things or you're sculpting. It just depends on what it is. Okay. But the basic thing is just, you really got to just pop the bubble and get used to it. You just got to get used to it. So do something that you can actually keep up with. Like, cause it's kind of like when I tell people about budgeting, like the only budget you're going to actually do is the one you actually do. You're not going to create it. You create any kind of budget that you want to. You can create any kind of page that you want to, but what is the likelihood of you actually keeping up with it if you don't do it based on what you like, okay, and your style? So make sure you keep it authentic, all right? Think about your length, okay? Determine what length that you're going to make your videos and stick to that model. So you make your video editing more fluid, okay? If you're going to do 30-second videos, minute videos, when you're doing videos, you will find that you can say a lot more in a video being, with less time, okay? And then think about if you're on TikTok versus YouTube and then depending on what you're actually doing. Like, are you teaching something? Are you just trying to pique interest? Okay. Think about what you're actually doing when you're creating that video, but keep them, if you want your short form, 30 seconds or a minute, that's great. 60 seconds is a great start, but if that's too long for you, try 30 seconds. Okay. I think shorts on YouTube used to be like 15 seconds, but then I think the more you create, they give you a little bit more time, but mine started off at like 15 seconds. I'm like, yo, what's up with that? But so I think I'm like got 30 or 60 seconds now. So think about for TikTok, what length do you want? Okay. So that way, people are going to tune in. They know what to expect. But start somewhere. Okay. Then think about your relevant messaging, okay, and the dialogue. So finding relevant messages for your audience on TikTok or any platform, that's going to be key to building your audience. Okay. Since TikTok, is one of the most dynamic of all the social platforms, be prepared to have an open dialogue with the audience. Okay. So maybe asking that question, maybe making that bold statement up front so that you have those first 3 seconds, those first 3 seconds. Okay. Maybe you're doing relationships, dating advice. Okay. Make sure you have the opening that. And if you need help, go out there and look what's out there. Do a search. Okay. Do a search for trendy topics. See what people are asking. Remember, see what people are asking. You could use those questions in your first 3 seconds. If this is what people are searching for, like we learned on answerthepublic.com yesterday, then you could utilize that. Put that in the first 3 seconds. So follow your competition. What is your competition doing? Okay, so you always want to know what the new trends are in your industry. So those pages are going to help guide you to the content that your audience of your industry is wanting to see. But just like I showed you yesterday, you can look at that as well. And you can look at, the answer answerthepublic.com. Okay. It shows you the trends. There's another one, I think, on Google Trends. Yeah, you can look up Google Trends too. Will show you what are people searching for? What do they want to know? Right. And that's more real-time data for you to look at to see exactly what type of questions and things and people want to know. So that way that you can create that content. Okay. And then show the real side of your industry. Okay. People love authenticity. So make sure you show it. That doesn't mean that you have to show. And notice I said industry, not necessarily your personal life. Some people are very private, but you can definitely show what's going on in your industry. Give some secret tips, things like that. People love that. Right. What you think is monotonous and boring, the people who are following you think is juicy, juicy, juicy. Okay. They're like, ooh, I didn't know that. Okay. This might be things that you do every day, but we don't know. And so that's why we're going to lean in a little bit closer and we're going to follow you because you're dropping, gems that most people may not be doing in your industry. And even if they are, like, you have a different perspective, you have, your own niche. And so that's how you get people to, lean in. All right. So show the ins and outs of your business. Hey, that's going to create a more personal connection with your audience. Sometimes it just can be like, what you're doing, like the tools. I did something with my baking, like just making icing, like the steps that it takes to make the different colors and stuff. Like, it's a mundane process, but a lot of people don't know that, right? So it just depends on what your what's on the inside. I mean, you might even show different things. I could show going to the grocery store, picking out certain things, which brand works better than this, or all kind of things. Okay, show your mishaps. Everything doesn't have to be perfect all the time. The flops that happen, that's all part of it. Okay. All right. So that's pretty much it, y'all. That's basically for TikTok creating. So it's just reviewing some of the general tips that we mentioned throughout most of the classes. We're making sure you create a schedule, right? And these are all things that you can use. ChatGPT can help you create that schedule. Okay. Determining your posting style. How are you going to post? I wanted to show, let's see. I'm going to pull up just going to pull up my page, well, my Instagram page. .com. And again, go look at people in your industry. Let's see, is it logged in? This is interesting. Maybe I need to pull it up on here. Let's see. Is that coming up? I'm not logged in. I thought I was logged in, but anyway, I'm just trying to show you how, just go in looking at other people's pages. So that way you get an idea of, how other people are posting. You can decide your posting style. You can decide, like some people, they create a schedule where they post, like I was talking about, quotes on one day. Then you might have motivation. Mondays might not be a quote, but it might be a challenge or something that people this week. Okay. So think about what your hashtags are going to be so that you can utilize that. Like, you create a 7-day schedule. You could do that for a month, or you could do it for 3 months. I see people create all different kind of things. And they pretty much keep it the same. And that just makes your life easier.